Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 29th. Welcome to this very spooky edition of Coffee Talk, where we'll be talking about how the news is terrorizing you. Well, they're at least trying to terrify us. So that'll be the big story that we go through. I want to get started here by congratulating Danielle Minton on getting her first deal under contract. Yay, congratulations for Danielle. I also wanted to congratulate Dario Alexis for getting his listing under contract and simultaneously getting another sale house under contract. So, wham, bam, awesome. Very excited for him. So a big round of applause for Dario and Danielle. And again, continued efforts from everybody else I really appreciate. Next, I want to just mention the unbelievable event that a few of us attended last week. Again, the reason why there was no coffee talk last week, we were attending the Exit Southeast rally. This is an event hosted by Exit Southeast, which is our region, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. It was an incredible networking opportunity. It was an unbelievable event from a, let's say, motivational standpoint. Got to see a few interesting people. I don't know if you ever heard of Lou Holtz before, but he was there. Super nice, awesome presentation. And then the presentations that we got from everyone else. There was coaches there. There were all of the trainers from Exit were there. And, a number of their premium vendors were there as well. It was just an outstanding event. Plan on going to these events in the future. They are unbelievably good for your business, for your connections, for referral business that you can develop out of it. Again, I can't say enough good things about this event. There will be another one coming up in the spring. You want to plan to be at this one. Next, I wanted to announce, you should have seen this through our Facebook page, and I sent an email to everyone yesterday that the office is doing a fall food drive. It is that time of year, and what a great way to help people who are struggling with life. And this, the pandemic's been pretty tough on a lot of people. And this is a great opportunity that you can do something. It doesn't have to be something big. It just, if you do something, you're really helping these people. And it's a great opportunity for you as a realtor to reach out to your friends, your family, your past customers, your business connections, vendors, and just say, hey, we're doing a fall food drive and we'd love to have you contribute to it. I think it would be a wonderful thing. If you don't mind, I'll even help you with it. If you got a couple cans of beans or a box of mac and cheese, or as they call in Canada, the Kraft, a box of the Kraft, I'll swing by and pick it up from you if you don't mind. And you'll get great connection doing something like this. Again, you're doing it for all the right reasons, and it really is a great opportunity to reach out to your client base. We're always talking about, you need to stay in touch with these people. You need to be contacting them 5, 10, 15, 25 times a year. The more touches you have with them, the more connected you are to them, the more you stay top of mind. So as you're trying to stay top of mind with them, what am I going to call this person and talk about this time? I called them on their birthday. I called them on their anniversary of their move-in. I wished them a happy new year. What else am I going to call them about? You have to have reasons to call people. I just call them and say, hey, you remember me? I sold you a house. You know anybody looking to buy or sell? Actually, you can do that, and it is effective. But let's try to be a little bit more creative, and let's try to build relationships with these people. Ultimately, that's what our business is about. We are nothing more than a people person. All we are is an intermediary. We connect this person with that person. And the more connected we are with these people, the better it is for us personally. I mean, honestly, when you help somebody find the right place, it really does a lot for your personal esteem, for really becoming, I think everybody wants to become that person that's their best. And when you're helping other people, you really are at your best. So this is one way that you can help people. And really, it does help you, but it benefits you in unbelievable ways. So again, the food drive is on now. We have a box here ready for collections. Again, make the phone calls, talk to the people, make the connections with them. Let's collect some food, and let's really do a good job to help out the people that are struggling in our world today. It's a very important thing for us to do. So I'm moving on next week, Wednesday. So we are now back to doing monthly office meetings. The last one we had was happened to work out to be a Matt Weaver event. But this month, we coming up in November, next week, Wednesday, we're going to be having our in-person meeting. And the discussion is going to be, we're going to bring up a number of things, but one of the big things is going to be the new FAR bar contracts. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard about it, guess what? The FAR bar has introduced all new contracts. I think they all end in a -7 now. I think I have to again, let me prep for my for my meeting next week, but they have changed all of the contracts, the FAR bars, the addendums that go along with it. There are some very important changes that happen to it, specifically in the as-is contract section 8B. They have changed the language so that the appraisal must be included with the loan approval. So if you can't get an appraisal before a loan approval date, you can't get a loan approval. You have to cancel your order. So you have to cancel your contract. So this is just one of the things that they've changed in the contract. We should know these things as we're working forward. Again, we work with Matt Weaver's team a lot, and this whole thing dovetails into a sales pitch for cross country and Matt Weaver's team, that they have figured out how to do appraisals in 7 to 14 days. They can close deals quickly. This new provision in the contract, actually, it's like Matt's team had somebody write it in there, because it plays right into his hands as far as what a mortgage guy can do versus what a lot of mortgage companies do. And they drag their feet. They take 3 or 4 weeks to get appraisals, and it drags out on deals. So the change in the contract is going to force everybody to live under this rule where you have to have an appraisal before you have a loan approval. This will affect how people do business. And again, it plays into Matt Weaver's hands. And again, if you're not using Matt Weaver, he isn't paying me. He probably should, because I promote the crap out of him, and he's worth it. I promote him because he does an excellent job. Moving on. I just wanted to mention, if you did not know, I was looking at the Sun stats for September. As of September, there's 1.4 months worth of inventory. If you're not prospecting for listings every day, if you're not prospecting for listings every day, you're really not doing your job. You should be, well, let me just put it this way. If you control the inventory, you control the business. This is the inventory. If you want to spend your time running around working with buyers all the time, there's no guarantee any buyer is going to go under contract. You can run around, show them 10, 20, 30 houses and never get anything, maybe even get one signed, but you can't get it over the close. If you have the listing, somebody wants to buy it from you. You control the inventory, you control one side of every deal. And guess what? A lot of times you can get a second side of the deal. And getting those listings will drive new business, buyer business to you. But again, getting listings makes you sexy. The more listings you get, the more people notice you. They're like, hey, did you see that person over there? They got those 2 listings. They got one down at the end of the street. That person's hot, man. And so if you want to be sexy, get listings. This is how the business works. Now, there's a lot of mystique and, I'm afraid of listings. It's difficult. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? It's not very difficult, but if you are unsure, if you have a little confidence problem with it, no problem. Get your butt in here. Or you say, you know what? I really just don't know where to prospect for this stuff. Great. Call me up, make an appointment with me, and I'll walk you through a number of different prospecting techniques that will get you business. Are you working your farm area? Do you have a farm area? If you don't, let's get one picked for you and let's start working it. If we're not getting listings, people, we don't have a business. And that's the bottom line. So I want everybody out there working their asses off to get listings. 2 hours a day, you should be prospecting for listings. If you're not doing 2 hours a day for prospecting, what are you doing? Are you putting in a full day's work? I mean, we need you people, everyone, I think that's rude to say, I'm sorry, but we need everybody focused on this. And if you're focused on this, if you're a prospecting machine, if you're like, I always think of prospecting literally as the prospector, the guy with the flannel shirt and the jeans with a pickaxe over his shoulder, big beard and a hat, going out into the woods, looking for gold. Well, that's you. That's every one of us. Every morning, if you're not getting up, getting ready, getting excited, and getting out there and start digging for gold, you're never going to get any gold. This is where the business is. If you want to truly be a realtor, the way to be a realtor is to get listings. So I want everyone focusing on this. If you have any problems with these things, let me know. I can help focus you on where you should be prospecting and where you should be digging. I don't know all the honey holes, but there's a few good ones out there, and I want everybody digging in them. So let's get on this, people. Everybody needs to be focused on this. All right, so now I'm a little bit of a, let me finish it with one thing, just one thing. I want everybody in our office to set a goal to get 2 listings in the next 90 days. It's November 1st. It's November 1st. I want by January 31st, everybody to have gotten 2 listings. This is not an unreachable goal. This is not this is not climbing to Mount Everest, people. It's just making phone calls, knocking on some doors, interacting with the people you know, asking them for business. It's so crazy. We talk to so many people, we don't ask them for business. So I want everyone here to set a goal of 2 listings by the end of January. You got 3 months, 90 days. This is not a difficult challenge. Everyone in here can do it. I know you can, and I can help you do it. So just let's focus on this. Let's get excited. Let's make this happen. Let's get in control of this business and let's get the listings. All right. So 90 days, everybody I'm watching, 90 days. So I want to talk a little bit, changing gears here. I want to talk a little bit about the media and what's going on in the world. We know that the market has been changing somewhat, and I will be honest, if you read the Wall Street Journal, you watch CNBC and some of the other business news channels, anytime there's any slight change in anything, they tend to magnify on just a little portion of it to create a headline. And we use the phrase a lot that our headlines there to terrify or to clarify. And many times headlines are written to terrify, they become clickbait. And you know, it really does affect the buyer sentiment out there. Do people think it's a good time to buy? Well, a lot of that's based on what they're reading in the news. So we as real estate agents need to get ahead of everyone on these. We need to be doing social media posts. We need to know the answers to the questions before they're going to be asked of us. So I'm going to get into my PowerPoint here. Give me a second to share my screen. Share. So I'm going to start off with this is Showing Time's monthly index, and you notice how it's starting to level off. And honestly, when you look at it in a big picture, yes. And again, we use this as a lot to determine what's going on with buyer activity. Showing Time really shows who's going out and looking at homes. So this index coming from Showing Time is showing that buyer activity is down as compared to February, March, and April of this year. So I guarantee you the news story is, oh, Showing Time's down 15%. So, but when you start looking at it, let's compare it. Where are we just compared to 2020? And again, 2020 was not a normal year. But when you look at this, comparing 2021 and 2020, we aren't far off from where we were last year. Last year, 184.7 was the index, and we're at 175.5. We're down just a little bit. This is not a huge deal, but when, again, you compare it with going into previous years, like I said, now let's look at it over the last 5 years. And as I've reviewed these numbers in the past, I've always mentioned that, you know, to look at a normal year, you have to go back to 2019. There was nothing normal about 2020. And so typically news organizations are always going to compare this year with last year. Because last year was such an anomaly, any comparisons are really quite odd. They don't really hold up. What you need to be comparing it to is the last year that was essentially normal. So pre-COVID, 2019 was the year that we would really say was a comparable year. Now, as you're looking at this, we're still well ahead of showings as compared to 2019, 2018, 2017. So again, the context of this statement that showings are down, well, yeah, they're down ever so slightly, 9 points on the index. But they're up 60 points from 2019 and they're up 70 points from 2018. So with the context in place, you can see that we're really looking at numbers that are very strong. There's still a lot of buyers out there looking. And again, we get into the examples of headlines doing more to terrify than clarify. Again, it's a Halloween reference. Okay, I had to get that out of the way. So let's look at our first one here. I really did love this one. Foreclosures are shooting up. Is it a repeat of the early 2000s housing crisis? Thank you. The best part about this story is, as you're looking at it, it came from realtor.com. It came from realtor.com. So this is even, it's our own, eating our own here, I think. Again, it's clickbait. But, we've talked about foreclosures and what's coming with it for the last year and a half. And, with the moratorium ending, foreclosures are up. So let's put some things, let's see if where was my context there? It didn't pop up. But when you look at, darn it, I lost that one. Missing a slide here. All right, back. All right. But when you look at this, foreclosures are up. So in June and July, you were looking at a rate of 5,800 per month. And now you're looking at a rate of 5,800. And now it's up to 8,500. Comparing that with 2020, in the month of September, there were 28,000 foreclosures. So yes, the foreclosure numbers have gone up. They're going to go up. But there are so many programs and there's so much equity out there that it's likely that the numbers are never going to approach even what they were in 2019. So to say, is this a repeat of the early 2000s housing crisis? Come on, it's clickbait. All they're trying to do is get somebody to click on their story because there's no real basis for it when you put the context in around it. I'm going to say context probably 150 more times as we do this presentation. Here's another wonderful one from CNBC. Mortgage originations will drop 33% in 2022 as interest rates rise, according to industry forecast. So this one's fantastic because it even answers their own question here as they're as you start to read just the key points. Refinance originations will drop 62% in 2020. Refinance. That's not home sales. When you look to the next line. However, mortgage originations for the purpose of buying homes are forecast to rise 9% to a record of 1.73 trillion in 2022. If people don't go past the headlines, they will assume the story is, oh, the real estate market is tanking. Problems in the real estate market. So again, it's us getting this correct information out there so people know what's going on. And so I like this. This comes from the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, and asking people, do you think now is a good time to buy a house? And in February of 2020, 70% said it was a good time to buy a house. In September of 2020, again, this is just pre-COVID, mid-COVID, 65% said it's a good time to buy a house. September 2021, 29%. So what happened to that 30 some odd percent, 35, 36%? What happened to them? Has the market changed that radically? Has affordability changed that much? Well, prices have gone up, but interest rates have gone down. The competitive market may have scared some people out, and I understand that. And that's one of the challenges that we have to deal with. But the reality is still, it is an excellent time to buy a home. We know this, you know this. It's prices have gone up, and I think that scared a lot of people, but it's the way the news presents this that has the greatest effect on whether or not people think it's a good time to buy. So a couple of little quotes here. This one was from Ivy Zellman. I quote her, I use her, pardon me. Better. So this comes, she made a comment during an interview. This is from Zellman and Associates, and we do use her as a source, that Goldman Sachs has predicted housing prices will grow another 16% in 2020. So this actually came from a few weeks ago, and what they were saying is, through the remainder of this year and into next year, that we may see it as high as 16%. So it's somewhat of an exaggeration. And again, 16% higher, I think, scares buyers. It thrills sellers. But they go on to say that they see the increases moderating. And ultimately, there will be some increases in interest rates, which will also have a moderating effect on that. But they don't see anything more than that. But again, take a statement, remove a little bit of the edges of it, post it out there, and boy, it can really sound terrifying. So let me jump to here. So let's talk about where the market actually is based on real numbers. So, and what the projections are from all of the major indexes. So here we are. This is a home sales forecasted to increase this year and perform well again next year. So yeah, we're already up to, 2021, they're predicting we're going to be between 6.7 and 6.9 million sold. That's a big number. And they're not predicting it to go down next year. The lower end of the estimate 6.6, the higher end 7.4. So again, the major indices are still looking and predicting that next year is going to be another strong year for sales. Homes are selling. The biggest issues that we've got is inventory. Hello, let's refer back to my earlier part of our presentation about listings, but inventory is the big issue. Again, just one last thing, if you start comparing with the number of homes sold in 2020 based on what 2021 and 2022 are expected to do, you can see 2020 was a huge year, and yet we're still expected to do better. That's what the expectations are. So, I mean, this is where we are in the industry right now. The market is there. There are homes being sold. We should, let me stop my share. We should be spending all of our efforts attracting listings. I had a whole other presentation laid out about listings. I decided I'm going to save it for Wednesday of next week. But the numbers are, if you're not getting the listings, you're not going to perform as an agent. You're not going to succeed. I mean, you can chase around buyers, but that's not really what this business is about. This business is about selling homes and getting listings. And like I said, we all need to be doing everything in our power to be getting them. And if you feel confused or lost or don't know what to do next, come talk to me. I have answers. We have ways of helping you get more listings. All right. I keep dovetailing back into that. Come on, Patrick, stay on point. Interest rates. So I didn't have a presentation last week, so I didn't record interest rates last week, but I can tell you 2 weeks ago and today, the interest rates have not changed. So I will tell you, we're looking at a flat interest rate period for the last 2 weeks. Currently a 30-year for a well-qualified 0 points mortgage, 2.875, a 15-year 2.115. These are exceptional rates. I mean, that's what you should be telling every buyer, if they're pushing back on price. You're paying 3% interest, dude. It's like free money. My God, take advantage of it. They're not going to go down. They're only going to go up. So that makes this very strong time to buy, even with the pricing that you pay. Interest ultimately becomes a lot bigger than the purchase price if you sit down and look at a 30-year mortgage amortization. So if any of you haven't sat down and run and looked at a 30-year mortgage amortization, you really should, because you'll see that you pay more in interest than you pay for the house. So understanding how big of a factor this interest rate is on the purchase price of a deal. If you've run deals, you've seen it. But like I said, I just tell people, just, run a $350,000 mortgage, 30 years, run one at 5% interest, run one at 2.5% interest. And you're looking at the dollar amount that's paid out in interest over 30 years. And it's unbelievable, the amount of money paid in interest. So we need to be selling this, we need to be promoting this, and we need to make sure everybody's getting the opportunity to take advantage of this. Again, we're in a people business. What better way to help people than to make them understand, to help them understand that these low interest rates are one of the greatest buying opportunities ever. I can't say any more about it. I'm going to drop my mic, but I don't want to damage my mic. Okay. So there are some exit trainings coming, and there was one that was just missed. I don't know if everybody saw the Techinar earlier this week, Wednesday. It is available to be watched on your Exit Realty Connect app on your phone. Just open the app, click on media. It should be one of the top ones, but you can scroll through the list of webinars that they've got for that. It was put on by Kia Saad, and it was all about building your profile. It was excellent. So get in and understand what he was teaching in this, really understanding how your profile is one of the best ways to create SEO for your website, driving traffic in through organic web searches. So very important. Next week, Exit is going to be offering a workshop called The Power of Preparedness. This runs Wednesday from noon to 4:30. So if you get an opportunity, check that out. Again, I've mentioned it before, Wednesday, November 3rd, next week, Wednesday, 10 a.m. in office meeting. I can't wait to see you here. We've got great stuff for you. So make sure to block the time to be here Wednesday, 10 a.m. for our monthly office meeting. That is all I have for today. I'm trying to think of a witty thing to add, but
I want to build on what you were saying. Actually, a couple things I want to build on what you were saying. You're talking about the food drive, and to call your people and ask for some sort of donation to let them know that you're trying to enrich the community, helping those in need. But it's really turns into two touches for that client or that part of your database, because after they give you something, you're going to turn around and send them a thank you card with some of your business cards in there, because when you're talking about picking up donations and stuff, they know what you do. You know what I mean. You're not going to want to talk about, hey, I'm calling, I'm here to pick up this, but I want to tell you about this house or that house. They know what you do. The real opportunity is after, when you're sending in a thank you card and mailing in your business cards. So that's the reason why we're doing a lot of these charity functions that Patrick and I have laid out for throughout the year. This upcoming year, we're going to be doing a toy drive coming up here in a couple weeks. But it's really opportunities for you to reach out to your database, and because Patrick and I talk to a lot of you guys and a lot of different agents, and we say, hey, reach out to your database. And I'd say the biggest pushback that we have is, what do I say? Am I just calling to say hello? And we tell you, call them on their birthdays, call them on their anniversary, send them a birthday card, say, call at those emotional touch points. But here's another opportunity in a different direction that you're doing good for the community. Nobody minds being contacted here. Are you able to donate a couple cans of beans or rice, or like you said, Kraft mac and cheese? So you should really take advantage. We're going to set a goal, Patrick and I, is how much weight we want to have in food over the next couple weeks. And I'd like everyone to really make an effort to not just raise your own pantry. You know what I mean? That's great. We'll be donating food, but the real opportunity in this is to reach out to people that you already know, because they're gonna. And if you're new to real estate, right? You maybe only been in it a couple months, or you haven't done a lot of business, or they know you in a different profession. Now you're reaching out to them. You're letting them know what you do. Maybe they don't know that you're a realtor. So there's many opportunities by doing this. Help others, and you'll help yourself. Another thing I want to touch on, Patrick said that that article by Realtor.com was put out. So Realtor.com is not the National Association of Realtors. It is a domain that is a business, and like he said, that is clickbait. So, because it points right out there that home purchases are still on the rise. So now when people tell you that they saw an article that said that mortgage applications were declining and everything else, they're misspeaking. They saw a headline, and it's up to you to clarify what that headline meant, because that's all most people do. Yeah, it's just they just read headlines. They just read headlines, and that's why the 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 news is so corrupt because they try to steer you into having an opinion before you even read the article. Because many dumbasses don't even read the article. They just read the I know that's all I need to read was the headline. So take the time when somebody says something that's incorrect to educate them. You'll make yourself look like a real professional. So don't necessarily stir away from being controversial with somebody else. Over something that's incorrect in real estate. It's your job to educate the general public, because when you educate that person, they're going to go back now full of knowledge and want to go educate somebody else that's going to say the same thing to them. So, um, as far as listings goes, he's right. The old saying in this business is you have to list to last. And if you're not taking a couple hours every day, either calling FISBOs and going on FISBO appointments, not listing appointments. We're going on previews to see how you can work with sellers, because they have something to sell. On top of that, reaching out to your database, just like we're having you do here, because then organically you'll get listings. You're not calling for listings. You're just calling and being a good friend, a good past realtor to your past clients, and you'll organically get business that way. But every day, at least a couple days a week, you should be prospecting for FISBOs. There are no really expireds right now, or I'd tell you be hammering the expireds to anybody that has a property for sale. You should be on it. The other technique is circle prospecting, which is
Farming.
finding it's farming. It's one of the aspects of farming. You find something that went on in a neighborhood, a house just sold. Listen, you don't have to just use our exit, right? You could use the exit out in Wellington. You could use the exit in Boca. You could use any of the exits in Fort Lauderdale. If you find a neighborhood that you want to farm, and call the whole neighborhood. And we have access to all the phone numbers through the geo farming in our RedX account. So if you wanted all the phone numbers for a particular neighborhood, we can get those for you. And then you just call each one of them up and say, hey, listen, this is Jason with Exit Realty Partners. The reason for my call is Exit Realty just sold a property over on X, Y, and Z street, and I just want to see if there is anything that I could do for you if you'd be possibly interested in selling your home. We have a lot of buyers and sellers. Some people might say no. Some people might say, maybe in the future. And that's when you would ask, hey, is it okay if I keep in touch with you? Maybe every time something sells, I keep you up to date with what property values are. Again, this, like Patrick said, this business is about creating relationships. So every day, top of mind needs to be, I need to be creating new relationships and nurturing old relationships to grow my business.
Well, and adding on to that, Jason, the part of circle prospecting that you talked about. So if anyone doesn't know, I talk a lot about all the things. My first sales job was selling encyclopedias door to door. And honestly, people are I found people to be very afraid of door knocking.
I thought they were Bibles, Patrick.
Oh yeah, I'm a Bible salesman. Look at me. Do I look like a Bible salesman? But the whole idea of going out and knocking on a door and just introducing yourself, hi, I don't know if you knew what happened. And I would love to go along with any of you. You pick your neighborhood, you name the time. I'll go hand in hand with you. I have no fear. I like door knocking. I like door knocking better than I like calling. Some people like calling better than I like face to face. I've had plenty of doors slammed in my face. I laugh, I move on to the next one. But what you really find is a lot of people are very warm and very nice. And you're just at the door. They're polite. They might say, oh, no, I can't help you, and shut their door. But I mean, you hit 100 doors in a neighborhood, you might get one slammed, and you'll meet 20 or 30 really nice people. And the rest of them will either not answer the door or just not interested. No big deal. So it's the fear of getting out there and doing this that I've never done something like this. It's sort of fear of the unknown. Don't worry about it. Let me know if you want to do it. I'll go with you. We'll get it done and you'll be thrilled. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I've got a farm area. I'm actually meeting people. Well, the thing is you have to be consistent with it. I can help you get started with it. I'll go out and work whatever neighborhood with you that you want, but you need to be consistent with it. So in addition to the door knocking, we need to do postcards, and we need to go back and knock on doors, and we need to work this. You need to get to the point of where you are actually recognized in the neighborhood. And that's, the first listing turns into the next one and the next one. And before you know it, 6 out of 10 listings in a neighborhood are going to you because you're now the guy for that neighborhood. So that is an incredible way to build out your business.
And Patrick, let's face it, the actual act of knocking on the doors is easy. That's not hard at all. The hard part about door knocking or cold calling or geo farming, calling, and that stuff is finding the courage to do it every day, right?
And the follow up, right?
Well, it's all, there's always follow up and everything. But if you don't start, there is no follow up. So right. the hardest part about everything is finding the motivation and the courage to go out and door knock and to make those phone calls. And I don't know how many of you guys been paying attention to the exit round table, which, my God, listen, every day you should be checking that. That's our message board. That's our group for communicating. I think I'm going to start also backing it up with an email, because I don't think enough people pay attention to where we're providing the most communication to the agents.
The Joe Rogan video is great.
Oh, thank you. You guys are on Facebook anyways. Check it out. Make sure you get on there. And guys, the reason why I'm posting these videos, they're for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. These are videos that I'm watching in the morning. These are the videos that when I don't roll out of bed and be like, oh, let's go. I feel like shit. I'm achy. I'm tired. But try going to being a business owner. See how well you sleep at night every night. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it every day. So I have to find some sort of resource I can do this. This is going to be a great day. And so I lean into these videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to share these with everyone, because everybody feels the same way as I do. Whether you admit it or not, everybody has, I don't want to do this because you're scared, or maybe you had a bad experience and you don't want to go through that again, and so you don't want to try again, or whatever. Things are scary, and you need to know that you have it in you to do it. Everybody has the same fears. Everybody's gone through the same emotions, and the difference between the people that are out there doing it is they push past the fear, right?
I watched the video this morning. I loved it.
Listen, please watch them every day, Tina.
I like Denzel Washington.
I like the Joe Rogan one, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, listen, every day. Listen, if it doesn't strike a chord, okay. If some of these videos really don't create some sort of emotion inside of you, right? You got to question if you're in the right business. Then maybe But if this stuff, if you're hearing these words and you're thinking to yourself, they're talking about me, right? This is striking, hit me at my spine. It's because they are talking to you, because we're all the same. You just have to get up and do it. And like I said, listen to these. And like I said, I put the motivational one on there, and then I put some of the spiritual and a little more religious and stuff on there. And listen, I'm not going to act like I'm the most religious person in the world, but what I have found after leaning into this a little bit, God, it helps. You know what I mean? It really does. 5-10 minutes to hear stories about doing good and being good, and whether you're Jewish or Christian or atheist, agnostic, whatever. Just lean into the message of the things that I'm saying, and you'll it makes me feel good. So, and I know that after I do these, and listen, I try to find between 5 and 15 minute videos. I'm not
Oh, the Tony Robbins video was good too.
Yeah, listen,
Tony
I
Robbins is the man, man. That guy,
he is the man.
he's old school, bro. I watch you. I follow you, Jason. I watch those videos you post, man.
Good, good. Thank you. You know, because like I said, it's important, and I think I'm gonna start sharing them on my regular page because I'm like, you know, why it just doesn't have to be the Eggs Around Table, but I want you guys to have a good experience, and in order to have a good experience in this, you have to have the right mindset because I promise you, you're gonna get punched in the face a whole bunch in this business, and it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts your soul. It hurts. You know,
Damn. Fuck, you're right, Jason.
wait till one of your friends goes and sells their house with somebody else or buys a house with someone else. You're gonna be like, you know what? Screw that person. You know, but you know what's gonna happen? You'll end up with negative emotions, and that shit breeds like a cancer, man. You gotta having the good spiritual juju around you makes a big difference, you know, because like I said, I've been in this business for 20 something years, so I can't believe I can say that, but you know, and I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, I've lost a lot of friends because they bought or sold with someone else, and I was like, you know what, you're dead to me. I was like, if my friends don't support me, I don't want to be around you, and that wasn't necessarily the right way to be, you know. But live and learn. So, and that's why I share these stories with you guys, because they're the mistakes that I've made, and that's why I'm saying that with these different spiritual videos and motivational videos, this is where I find the strength to do stuff all the time, you know, and be like, man, the guy's always doing shit. Don't well, I dig deep for it, you know, and I want you guys to dig deep for it.
I just want to say that I appreciate you posting this stuff.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. You know, and I'm glad that you guys see the value in it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I wanted to strike a chord with you. So
Should.
Agreed. No, I think they're outstanding, Jason. So I appreciate you putting those up for all of us, because yeah, we all know if you've been in sales for more than like a day, you know that I'll put it in a nice way. You get told no a lot more times than you get told yes. It's a lot more severe than that, but that's a nice way of saying it. So the reality is you've got to prepare your brain for this. And if you don't, all it takes is one light poke and I can't take it anymore. So you got to figure out what it takes to toughen your mental state to be able to take the rigor of sales. And, you know, we started getting into goal setting and planning for the next year. Unbelievably important. The bottom line is if you have no roadmap, you have no idea where you're going. So you have to do this. This is a big part of what we do here. And that is part of developing your mindset. And again, the motivational videos, Jason, I couldn't agree with Diane more. They're outstanding. I appreciate you putting those up, and look forward to more of them. So they really do a good job. And, you know, we talk about laying out your day in the most effective way and those types of things. And getting up in the morning is the hardest thing for everyone to do. I don't care who you are. I don't know anybody that just rolls over and yay, I'm awake. Maybe they exist.
I think you do, Patrick.
Maybe they're clinical or something. But I'll tell you what, getting up a little bit earlier in the day and going through a lot of this, the motivational stuff, having a plan, having mantras and why is the word escaping me, Jason?
Casey, wait, affirmations.
Oh my God.
Morning affirmations, they help. And I'll tell you what, you talk about affirmations. Affirmations are just programming for your brain. People don't realize how programmed they are. I mean, it's like you got a living room up there and the furniture's all fucked up. So, or excuse me, all messed up. So, you know, let's get in there and let's move the furniture around in the right way so that room works properly. And affirmations in the morning, motivational videos in the morning and audio in the morning, exercise in the morning. It doesn't have to be much. I don't do much. I do a little, and it goes a long way for me. Set up some push-ups, boom, I'm done. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it makes my brain more active, and it's really a good thing to do. And I'll tell you what, once you get used to watching the sun come up and going from no birds to birds chirping, it's kind of a cool thing. And so I don't mean to be a salesperson for, waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning, but getting an early start on the day does help. I will quote one of our great founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin: the early bird gets the worm. So, it pays. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm pretty sure it was Ben Franklin's line. So, but the bottom line is early bird gets the worm. Get up, get your day started, get going with positive things, because you're going to get hit with negative things in the day. So you can get it warmed up in the day, get positive, and now you're bulletproof for the day.
So Patrick, I know we're wrapping up. So, but one thing I want to add into all this, guys. So, everyone in here. Well, we got Cloudy in here, who's a brand new agent. Well, and I don't know if you introduced him already. If not, we will in about 2.2 seconds. Cloudy's going to be joining us for the boot camp that we have coming up in about 2.5 weeks. And the rest of you guys all were in the boot camp. Guys, spread the word. Now we've expanded it to 5.5 days or 4.5 days. And we've included a couple more things in there with like the Chime CRM and some of the database marketing stuff that maybe you guys want to join us for the 4th and the days that you guys didn't get. So the 4th and half day. If you guys want to come in and do the database marketing and do the going over the Chime CRM and all that kind of good stuff, you guys should join us for that. But what I really want you to do is spread the word to other realtors. Invite them to the boot camp. Some of you guys are doing rentals, and I've heard you guys say this person doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They're giving me, just a contract, a lease, and a check, and it's like, wait a second here, we don't even have a deal. These guys don't know how to put together a package. It means they're not getting any training, right? I know each one of you guys in the past month has talked to somebody that has no clue what the hell they're doing. So why not say, hey, you know what? Clearly, or actually, what you should do is ask, hey, are you happy at your company? Do they have a lot of training there? Are you taking a lot of good trainings? They're going to tell you no. So everybody. So a lot of people like to go to these 100% companies right out of school. But a 100% company is worthless if you don't have a business already. Unless you've already established a business, going to a 100% company, 100% of nothing is 100% of nothing. Nothing is nothing. So you have to go to a company and you have to get trained. You have to, you need guidance and mentoring and coaching. People just don't. Sports guys don't just, hey, I'm going to go out for the baseball team today, and boom, the MLB picks them up. It doesn't work like that. You got to go through the training. You got to go through the mentoring. You got to go through the coaching. So share your experience. Obviously, you guys were sat through the boot camp. You know that what we're going through and how we keep trying to make it better and better. Share your experience. Invite other realtors to this thing. Right now we have, I think, 2 or 3 people registered. I want to have 6 to 8 registered. So we got another 3 weeks to have 4 or 5 more people join us. But I need your guys' help. And listen, by you helping me, it's also helping you, because there's sponsorship. Once you guys each have three people underneath you, you really start to build a passive income. And then you're like, oh man, this is easy, and you start introducing. So but you have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
So my 2 requests for this week are call your database and get some donations for the food drive.
Hey, Jason, I already have 5 or 6 cans ready to bring in. I meant to bring them in yesterday, but I have 5 or 6 cans to put in that box.
Beautiful.
And you know what? You're right, man. And I always say this jokingly, but I'm half serious, man. I would love to hang out in front of Gold Coast, like at the end of the month, figure out whatever day the class ends and just hang out there. Come to exit. Here's my card.
Well, listen,
I'm serious. I'm gonna do it, dude.
listen, if you really want to be sly, you go over there to Gold Coast in the plaza there. They have a handful of restaurants. There's a handful of restaurants, and you find out which one they all go eat at every day.
Hey, also another thing I want to touch on with you guys, man, as a new agent, who's been with you guys, I'm telling you right now, man, these rentals are like, it's stupid. I'd rather just spend my time focusing on the FSBOs like you're talking about, or farming. I'm starting to see how important farming is, especially with my dad's neighborhood. That Leisureville, the president of the building, she's a bitch to me because that's her neighborhood. She farmed it. That's her area, man. She owns that part of Leisureville. Yeah. And I'm hearing this over and over again. Same with my friend Michael. I have a friend of mine. I'm any day now. I'm waiting. He's got several properties. I'm just waiting for the thing to go through. He's got it's tied up with I don't know, probate and stuff. But anyway, he says the same thing. It's like, John, he's got a property out in Okeechobee. It's like, you got to get a hold of this guy, Con. Con knows the whole neighborhood out in West Okeechobee if you want to get in. So I think you're right, man. Farming is where it's at. And one thing I want to work with Patrick is working on just like calling those FSBOs, man, because I don't care how big your sphere is, like eventually that shit runs out. You got to learn how to get a hold of these FSBOs,
every
man.
day, John, listen, so your sphere shouldn't run out because every day your goal needs to be adding new people to your database, right? So if listen, you're playing music at places. So
no, I'm telling you, half my friends already know half the realtors down here. I'm telling you, I
Doesn't
50
matter.
times I've like, oh, Brett Colby's my guy, or this guy. I'm like, dude,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, listen. They're all whores. It doesn't matter. They leave you so fast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't be intimidated by that. Brett Colby, man, they're counting on their current success to intimidate you, to keep you away.
It's not gonna work, man. I'm hungry.
No. It's
every market, every
plus. There is plenty of business for everybody. There's plenty of business.
And John, every farm area was taken by an agent from another agent. Every farm area.
True.
If you want it, you've got to take it. It's the only way you get.
I don't want to say my fear, but what I'm like, the reoccurring story I'm hearing is, oh, everybody just got their real estate license. I feel like it doesn't matter. Half doesn't matter. The damn community down here got their real estate license at the same time. I'm like, every time I turn around, I got my real estate license. I just got my real estate.
Yeah, and you know how many of them are going to be realtors? Let them
fizzle out, man. I'm not going.
No, John. You should. So listen, that means
recruit them.
Oh, there you go.
What, Tina? What'd you say?
Recruit them.
Be like, hey, what kind of? That's your opportunity. What kind of training are you getting? They're gonna go, I watched a bunch of online videos, and you're gonna say, well, man, I got my handheld. I went through a boot camp. These guys walked me through my first deal. I call these guys all the time. They're there for me. So that, and people are gonna be like, oh, what? You talk to your broker? You talk to your broker?
I love my broker. I love you guys, man. I love Casey. I love you, Jason. I'm like family, man.
And we love you right back, So when people hear the sincerity in your voice, they'll know that it's not a pitch. That you're actually offering to better them, to help them.
Hey Jay,
Jason and Casey. I know I joined the meeting a little late this morning, but Patrick's right. Like I got a rental listing just by asking my landlord. Yep.
So see, man,
how that works.
Congratulations, man. Awesome.
Yeah. No, and I got that from you guys. Like I never, you know what I'm saying? I almost had a buyer lead. I sent her to Matt Weaver. She got turned down last week. Otherwise, I'd be working with a buyer right now. But all it took was me asking my friend from childhood, hey, and you know what? She was on board. You know what? And she still might be in several months. What's that?
Did you paint the apartment?
Did I what?
Paint the apartment.
Oh God, no, I'm not gonna go to that. Actually, you know what? I kind of worked it out. There's somebody I'm gonna put in there and he's kind of a handyman, and I know he needs to get in here. And this lady's willing to waive the $500 pet fee if he's willing to come in and help paint and clean. So I'm gonna know by Monday. Either I'm sticking this guy in here and I'm not gonna have to paint, and I'm gonna save this guy a $500 pet fee.
Okay, that is the greatest. That is a great bartering story.
No, it is, because like I don't want to put this thing on the MLS. You know, if I could
You'll
get the
have
whole
somebody in there, it'll never hit the MLS.
right, and if I could just take care of this, you know, and hey, let him paint it. I'd rather give the paint job to the guy, let him move in, and I get the full commission.
That's a
rather
win-win
than this
situation,
doesn't work
John.
out. What's that?
That's a win-win situation in my book.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about it. I told her yesterday, like, listen, I'm busy this weekend with Pirate Fest. She knows, and the holiday weekend. But I told her, like, I can't do anything till Monday. I have a bug guy, and you know what? And actually, you know what I did to her? I sent her an email last night. I said, and just being courtesy, I said, look, this is what I'm going to do because I'm so grateful you gave me the listing. I got a bug guy coming over. That's on me. Don't worry about it. I'm going to bomb and bug the place on me. I'm going to clean. I'm going to finish. Like, because I initially yesterday, I'm thinking like, oh, it should be like a $50, $60 cleaning fee and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful to have the listing. I said, I'll clean the place because I'm happy to do it. I'm your realtor. That. I'm your guy. I'm going to clean it for free. I'm going to get a bug guy over, no charge, you know? And
it also, it just so happens she does have more than one rental property.
Yeah. And she already sent me, last week, I showed a $755,000 property to her friend on the golf course.
There you go.
The guy kept making Caddyshack references, and I thought it was because we're on the golf course. And then I saw the Caddyshack on TV that night. I think the guy was comparing me to Bill Murray.
I can see that. Carl Spangler.
That's hysterical.
Cinderella story.
But it's okay. You know what? And you know what? I tapped the guy the other day. Like, he didn't get back to me. I haven't heard from him. But I texted him the other day. I'm like, hey, you know, I was like, I got other properties in the area. I just did a quick search. Can I email them to you? No response. But you know, I just tapping them, and I even told her, I'm like, I had a pleasure showing your friend around the other day. You know,
John,
he's like a Wall Street guy.
Once a week, just give him a call. Hey, it's John, just touching base, sending some stuff. I'm serious. You know,
I can't wait. No, you know what? I want to kill him with kindness because, like, don't waste my time, buddy. Because I'm like, he was kicking my tires. You want to be a tire kicker? I'm gonna say hi. How you doing next week?
Patrick can show you a little bit in Chime too. So you take that person, right, and you put them into your contacts in Chime, and you can set search alerts to them. So now you don't even have to do it anymore. The system is automatically going to send them stuff, and the AI assistant is going to help
Patrick,
you.
I'm coming in today. We're doing that. I'm coming in today. We got to. I want to get this guy on that. Exactly what you're talking about, Jason.
Perfect.
He's
I have a meeting from
guy.
11 to 12.
He's it.
Other than that, I'm wide open. So come on in.
Okay.
And I will tell you the alerts and the things that you can get Chime to do automatically for you are fan freaking tastic. I've finally just got a few new things cooking for me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sold.
Hey, let's do this. Let's do it then. I got a perfect candidate for this, and let's try it out with this guy.
Perfect.
Great.
All right, everybody. It's been almost an hour. It's probably time to wrap this whole thing up. So thanks everybody for joining me for Coffee Talk. I will see you next week. John, I will see you later today. Diane, I'll probably see you later today too. Probably, we'll see. So everybody have a fantastic
I'll see you
weekend.
in a little while.
Patrick, I'll text you.
Have a fantastic Halloween. Don't scare the crap out of anybody or do.
Hey, Patrick, you were spooktacular today.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right.